we've talked about along the same strategy. We've talked about a few of the names there. Jack Doyle is one. We've both said he's being completely slept on. Right now his ADP is as a tight end 19, drafted early 14th round. So he'll be there late. And our boy CFP Nation commented on our Doyle segment that we recorded way back. He said, just did a 12-team PPR draft. I have a ton of depth at running back and wide receiver, but I ended up having to take Doyle as my tight end one. Should I try to trade him and get rid of most of my depth or just rock with him week one? Well, CFP, I mean, you got him in the 14th, so I'm assuming you just loaded up at every other position up until then, assuming you're at ADP. Doyle finishes the wide receiver or tight end 19 last year. To me, I would say keep the depth. Keep the depth. What you have with Doyle, essentially what you have to know is you've essentially committed yourself to streaming the tight end position. Maybe if you can drop, the last wide receiver you picked up, the second to last wide receiver you picked up, a super deep running back that you have, maybe you can grab a guy like an Ian Thomas, like a Irv Smith, but if Johnny or Jarwin are out there, grab them. But the fact you got Doyle makes me think that they were probably already off the board. If you're committed to streaming now with Doyle, he's not going to be a ceiling play. He's not a Travis Kelce. He can't get there. But no. Phillip Rivers coming in, got some touchdown upside on a week-to-week basis. You're probably going to have to keep your eyes on the waiver wire, take some shots on some potential breakouts during the season, probably earlier in the season than you would normally. But Doyle is a great streamer. I love him as a streamer. Here's his early schedule. Jacksonville Jaguars, Minnesota Vikings, New York Jets, and then he does play the Bears, but then Browns, Bengals, Lions. So great schedule to start the year. Soft defenses all around. If Phillip Rivers can upgrade this team, why can't Jack Doyle be a part of that? We've seen him use tight ends continuously in the red zone. Antonio Gates, even guys before that. I like it. I like it as a streaming option there with Jack Doyle. So CFP, I'm not going to tell you to drop your depth. Don't wipe out your roster to go after another tight end.
No, keep Doyle.
Yeah, just keep him on there. Just stream him.
You for sure keep Doyle. Here's why. And I think he's actually more than a streamer, especially if you do have an extra bench spot or two this season because of some of the COVID stuff going on. Jack Doyle is more than a streamer because you should not be when I think about streaming a position, I pick up a quarterback, I play him, and I drop him for another quarterback. I don't think you drop Jack Doyle to waivers because I have him as a top 10 tight end right now. I think Doyle's actually a player you can start every single week, and he's probably not going to give you that huge upside 25-point Noah Fant game where he goes for an 80-yard touchdown, but Doyle's going to be fairly safe. He has Phillip Rivers coming in as his quarterback, as you mentioned, and in LA last year, Hunter Henry saw over 6 targets a game, so Rivers loves to target the position. Doyle is on the field a ton. He had the 6th most snaps of all tight ends last year, and he just got a 3-year, $21 million extension in December, and he made the Pro Bowl last season, which we all tend to forget about. I think I was in a coma during that whole entire situation with him down at the Pro Bowl, but Doyle is a safe option, and I think Stef, like you said, you should keep Doyle in your lineup, but while you have Doyle locked in, whether he's on your bench or in your lineup, keep working the waiver wire and try to find that breakout player. Try to pick up an Ian Thomas and see if he sticks. Look at the waiver wire and say, okay, I see Mike Gesicki. He probably won't be on waivers, but Blake Jarwin has a great matchup this week. I'm going to try Blake Jarwin out this week, but if you're looking at the waiver wire and you're like, oh, snap, there are no other tight ends, just plug in Doyle, and he's probably not going to lose you your week. He's not going to win a week, but he's not going to give you 2 points week after week, just burning you time and time again. I think he's going to get enough volume in this offense to finish as a top 10 tight end, and it doesn't really take much to get there, but he's a safe play, and there's no reason to trade other positions where you might have a little bit of an advantage to try to upgrade Jack Doyle, because what are you really going to get for your depth? Are you going to upgrade Jack Doyle to Austin Hooper? I just don't think anything like that is worth it, especially when depth is going to be really important this year.
And believe it or not, Jack Doyle was tied for 4th in the NFL in target separation last season. Here's something else too, where it just adds to this take that Doyle is a great streaming option. It's he's the most experienced pass catching weapon that Rivers is going to have, because maybe not. T.Y. Hilton's there, but T.Y. Hilton has the injury risk, and then it's Paris Campbell, who had a rough rookie season. dealt with injury. He's coming back. I do like him as an upside play. One of those dart throws in that Curtis Samuel range that we were talking about. But then Michael Pittman, that's a rookie in the shortened offseason. So there could be a world where Doyle is the heavily relied upon safety valve for Rivers. So I love it.